You know, I got to thinking about something earlier today, and that is family can be a group of people who are really about caring about each other. But I will talk about that in another discussion. I was just thinking about that when I went to this function last night. Now, I got some. I was listening to the Breakfast Club, and I was watching a couple of things from it that Kevin Hart was talking about. Katt Williams, also trying to comfort Katt Williams. Him and Tiffany Haddish, after Tiffany Haddish said there was no beef between her and Katt Williams, but yet still, she sort of threw him under the bus. I just want to give my take on it a little bit. Let me explain. As Kevin Hart was saying in one of his stand-up specials. This is DJ Wolf Live. All right, guys, this is Sunday morning, September 23rd, I think. Yeah, Sunday, September 23rd, 2018. If you hear me now, that means it's Sunday, and I didn't go to church today. More on that a little later. All right. You already know about the big blow-up between Katt Williams and comedian Wanda Smith, who works for V103 in Atlanta, along with Frank Ski, who used to work up here for about a minute. I think he was in Baltimore for a while. But anyway, I think he was on Radio DC somewhere. I remember hearing not too long ago up in this way. But anyway, in this market. But in any case, originally, from what I found out, according to comedian Red Grant from his website, he talked about what really happened. And basically, he said that really the interview was actually supposed to be an interview between him and Wanda Smith at the station, and he actually had Katt Williams take him over there. That's exactly what Red Grant said. Katt Williams had actually brought him over to the studio to do for him, Red Grant, to do the interview with Wanda Smith instead of Katt Williams doing the interview with Wanda Smith. But what happened was, it appears to have been some kind of already simmering or smoldering beef between Katt Williams and Wanda Smith. So Katt Williams, according to Red Grant, originally didn't even want to go up there anyway to talk to her, but he came on up there, and somehow or another, according to what he was saying, they were beefing before the show even started, and started having little pleasantries, and then all of a sudden they started beefing again. So that's how that went. But it's interesting. Late this past week, Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish, or Haddish, which is the same thing, potato, but were at the Breakfast Club, and of course, Kevin Hart wanted to explain about what he felt about the situation and how he felt that Katt Williams was wrong about what he said about Tiffany Haddish. And based on what I heard, Kevin Hart was out to defend Tiffany Haddish while Tiffany Haddish was in the studio. And I'm thinking, well, Tiffany Haddish, could have defended herself, considering that Katt Williams did mention her as well as mention Kevin Hart. But Kevin Hart and Katt Williams had some beef for some time. And here's the irony of it. Katt Williams, Kevin Hart, and Tiffany Haddish was in a movie that was out a couple years ago called School Dance, which I just saw about a month and a half ago. I just saw the movie. And there was a scene in there where Katt Williams and Tiffany Haddish was talking about this baby that supposedly they had together that actually wasn't his. by this white prison guard. It's funny. You gotta see it. It's classic. But nevertheless, they were all in the same movie. Which is why I'm surprised that y'all all eating based on movies like that and y'all doing it together. And it was an all-star cast because Linnell and several other well-known people were in this movie as well. But in any case, he basically was talking about Katt Williams as a drug user and all that other stuff. He said some things. I'm no mess will come from my little sister. My little sister been got all these movies out. Matter of fact, Tiffany Haddish has got a movie coming out end of this month. She has another movie coming out with Tyler Perry. I think it's a third. Oh yeah, that's right. Take that back. She got 2 movies coming out. She got a movie coming out this month, which is with Kevin Hart. I forgot what it's called. Night School. Then she has another movie with what's that guy named Bernhost, who used to be on Mad TV. He's a funny guy, and I think she plays his wife in some comedy that they did that's coming out in October. And then I think November, December time frame, she got a movie coming out with Tyler Perry. I was like, man, she's on fire. So, although I will say Kevin Hart is right about Tiffany Haddish, she's getting that work though. But I had to also defend Katt Williams because, with 2 reasons I got to defend Katt Williams. First of all, Katt Williams is my homeboy from Ohio. We both grew up in the same state. He grew up in Cincinnati. I grew up in Cleveland. So I'm coming to defend my homie. All right. And number 2, to be honest, Katt Williams has put big names out there. Black comedians who never would have gotten that shot, like Linnell and Red Grant out there in the spotlight. Red Grant, who actually co-signed on it and said for certain Katt Williams was his man. Katt Williams was the one that helped, to help him get to where he had to be. He did say that, so. But here's my thing, though. Katt Williams brought up a good point. It's kind of funny that Tiffany Haddish seemed to be this one black comedian that they put in all these movies. And you got black comedians like Tiffany Haddish is out there. Linnell, she ghetto as fuck. And she funny as hell. And she funny looking, but that's another story. But I forgot the other female comic. I seen her before, Camacho, whatever name. I seen her before years ago. It's been a long time, though. But Katt Williams had a point. There are other black comedians who never get those kind of shots in film. But you get white comedians that do all the time. And but I will say this. I've seen Tiffany Haddish do stand-up. I saw her when she did stand-up on Def Comedy Jam a long time ago. I just happened to watch it, and I didn't realize that was her. I just happened to see her old footage. I said, yeah, I remember seeing it. She was nasty as fuck. She was really nasty back then, man. I was like, oh my God. But riddle me this. How come some more, who is a very sophisticated, downright sexy motherfucker and classy like hell, has never really got those big roles like Tiffany Haddish has? Why all of a sudden Tiffany Haddish is special getting roles and some more have been out there for a minute? I never understood that. And some more is funny as hell. I've seen Tiffany Haddish stand-up action. She don't really talk about much other than the coochie and sex acts and stuff like that, but she ain't got nothing to give other than that. I'll be honest. She's not that, she does funny stuff in movies. She does what the opposite of what Chris Rock does. Chris Rock in movies is not the funniest guy in movies. Tiffany Haddish is funny in movies, but she's not funny as a stand-up artist. She's not. And I'll tell anybody that. That's the absolute truth. She's not a very funny stand-up comedian. And Kevin Hart, who was funny at one time, a stand-up comedian, I think over the years, he sniffed a little bit too much of his own ass. I'm sure of that. He sniffed his ass a little bit too much for Big Man. To a point where he's not as funny as he used to be either. He's really not. I'll say that. He's not. No doubt about that. Because I've noticed that with him. You know. And he's a big time bragger too. You know, Katt Williams do brag a lot, but Katt Williams is funny as fuck. Don't start bragging about yourself if you ain't really about what you claim you are. You know, I'll say that too. Katt Williams has always been funny. I've seen almost all of his movies. There was a movie he put out a while back that I hadn't seen that came out, I think, earlier this year. I still haven't seen it. But he's funny as hell. But I've seen almost all of his comedy specials, and he's brilliant in every one of them. He's funny as hell. I mean, funny. I mean, funny as hell. Have been for a long time. He still continues to be a funny guy. You know, Kevin Hart? No. Brilliant Paper Show Soldiers. I think it was funny in Soul Plane. And he even had, well, I think it was kind of funny in Soul Plane. Let's put it like that. You know. But, you know, there are comedians that are funnier than Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is that kind of like middle of the road funny. You know, he comes from Philadelphia, just like Cosby and Will Smith and those guys. But Kevin Hart, I think he lost his edge over the years. He truly has. But he is a funny guy, but not like the likes of a Katt Williams. Katt Williams is street funny. All right, Mike Epps is street funny. My man, what's the guy? Corey Holcomb is street funny. And Eric Spears. Eric Spears is brilliant. I think, and I'll be honest with you, and I'm gonna say this. I think Eric Spears is probably one of the most underrated comedians out there. He is extremely underrated. And he was on Mad TV, even when he wasn't on Mad TV, when he was doing stand-up comedy. He was funny as fuck, man. You know, I've seen some of his stuff. He's a brilliant comedian. You know, he does impressions, impeccable impressions, man. I mean, really impeccable. You know, like nothing I've ever seen before in black comedians. Not too many black comedians can do the kind of impressions as well as Eric Spears. I'll say that. Matter of fact, I followed Eric Spears on. I followed Eric Spears on Twitter. Matter of fact, we were Twitter friends for about a minute. No joke. Yep, I spoke to him a couple times. Nice guy, man. But I mean, at least on Twitter anyway. Let's put it like that. But I think he's a brilliant. I think I said again before, and now I think he's a brilliant comedian. But I think he's one of the most underrated comedians out there. You know, Kevin Hart, I think, is one of the most overrated comedians out there, and I can honestly say that he is. I tell you somebody who I think is funnier than him, Cedric the Entertainer, and I used to not like Cedric the Entertainer, to tell you the truth. At one time, I used to watch Cedric the Entertainer on Comic View. Couldn't stand his ass. At one time, I really couldn't. I couldn't stand him. I was like, dude, this dude, you're not even funny. You know, but he was sort of starting out there a little bit. So I give him credit. He got better over the years, though. He got better and better. Kevin Hart has got better. And even my son, who was a big Kevin Hart fan, told me personally, he said Kevin Hart is overexposing himself. He told me about 5-6 years ago. And this before everybody started realizing what I'm starting to realize now, that Kevin Hart is a bit of a hack. You know, because he's overexposed. My son was the first person to tell me that. Before everybody in the media, social media started talking about it, he was talking about it. And that's why you got people who are famous and more famous than Kevin Hart who knows when to tone it down. You know? Guys like MJ, God rest his soul, and Murphy, they're reclusive. They aren't all out there like they used to be anymore. You You know, look at this fool right here. Look at this damn fool. Yeah, a lot of them are you know, some guys are just plain out reclusive now because they don't need to be overexposed. You know, overexposure of yourself in the business sometimes can actually kill your career. It's happened with many comics. It's happened with many musical artists as well, where you become irrelevant. You know, I've seen that happen. You make up your damn mind. Jeez, I hate these people. Even Sunday drivers are more Sunday than ever before. Now watch it. You're not going to do what you're supposed to do, are you? You're not going to do it. But I don't know. Here's my final take on it, though. To be honest, Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish are not that funny as stand-ups. They're not. Tiffany Haddish tries way too hard, and Kevin Hart just kind of like burned himself out in comedy and stand-up. I think they're good movies, you know, stuff that's basically not directly written by either one that they're funny in, but otherwise, no. You know, honestly. Katt Williams is underrated. He put out a lot of things about a lot of Hollywood acts that he's right about. It's just facts. It's just facts. You know, but he was right. You know. Now, Gerard Carmichael, I've seen his stand-up before. I saw his TV show. I think his TV show was brilliant. I ain't gonna lie. His stand-up was just kind of booty. I ain't gonna lie about that. I think Lil Rel's funny. I'm sorry. Now that I disagree with. I think Lil Rel's funny as shit. You know. He's kind of like a Cedric the Entertainer light kind of funny, but he's funny. You know. I'll say that. But that's pretty much what I got on that. You know. Like I said, it's a matter of opinion. You know, some people you might see are funnier than others, and others might not see them being not as funny as you think they are. But in any case, like I said before, Katt Williams really is the funniest, one of the funniest black comics alive. And I'm gonna say this: if there's anybody I can compare Richard Pryor to, I kind of had to say Katt Williams. I kind of gotta say Katt Williams. I will roll with that before anybody else. I'm not gonna lie. That's real talk. Real talk. All right, guys. This is DJ Wolf. That's pretty much all I gotta say about it. That's pretty much all I gotta say about it right now. Of course, questions and comments, feel free. Drop me a line. Feel free to drop me a line right here. DJ Wolf Live at AOL.com. That's DJ Wolf Live at AOL.com. Alright, guys. This is DJ Wolf. That's all I got to say. I don't have much else to say about it on the subject. Well, I may do a part 2. Let's put it like that. Let me retract that. Might do a part 2. Stay tuned. I'm out.